So, one of the things that I'm like most embarrassed about, or like that bothers me the most out of anything in my life, is I'm 26 years old. I don't have a driver's license. I have my permit, and technically I have a car, but it's kind of broken down in my mom's yard, so I don't use it. I don't have any form of transportation really. And when you live in the city like San Antonio, public transportation, like, it exists, but it's not as good as having a car. There's really no replacement for having a car here. Like, the sidewalks and stuff are really messed up, and the buses only come every 30 minutes or so, so you really have to like plan your time. So if I have to be somewhere that is like immediately, or like it has to be at a specific time, I need to make sure that I get an Uber or something. And like, I guess I could ask my friends for a ride, but I don't really feel comfortable doing that because I don't really like relying on other people for stuff like that. And like, I'd rather just Uber, because they signed up for it. So I wanted to take you along on a little trip with me, like to go do a couple things, and I think I'd show you like what it's like to do it. Like right now, I got at work at like 4, and then my partner gets out at 4:30, and then they have a game that they play with their friends till about 8. And then we wanted to go to the Dollar Tree because I want to get Play-Doh for some crafts or something, and it closes at 10. So if we were going to take the bus there, it would take about 45 minutes or something like that, and I think like over an hour if we were going to walk there, because the closest dollar store near us burned down. So we have to go to the closest one, which is by my mom's house. So we're probably going to take an Uber there, but to save money, probably walk back. And it's kind of scary, honestly, like walking anywhere in the city, especially since so much of the roads weren't built for that, Like, specifically, I was walking in like a richer neighborhood called Almost Park, and there was no sidewalks. And I was like, why is there no sidewalks here? And then I made the connection that the city provides the sidewalks, but since that part of San Antonio is considered its own smaller city within San Antonio, they don't have to abide by the same transportation and crosswalk rules. So they don't have sidewalks. So like at one point we were just walking in the middle of the street, like with these really nice houses on either side, and it's dangerous. And I can only imagine what it'd be like at night, because it you could get hit by a car, anything could happen. It's the next day. No Dollar Tree yesterday because they close at 9, and we would have only had like 30 minutes to shop and browse. And I just like looking around. So instead today, we plan to go to the quarry, go to Michael's, get some craft stuff just because I like crafting, and then probably get sushi for dinner. Lunch? I think it's actually more like lunch. And then after that, we'll see what we get into. But to do that, we're gonna have to Uber there. And when we Uber, it's generally anywhere from like $10 to $16 depending. And the thing about San Antonio is it's very big. It's like super spread out. There's like cities within San Antonio, and then there's like a bunch of neighborhoods. So to get from one side of the city to another, it can be anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes. So the city's huge, and it's kind of difficult if you want to take the bus. Like if I was to take the bus from my house to IKEA, which is in Live Oak, another city within San Antonio, you would have to take an hour-long bus ride. So it's a really long bus ride. And on top of that, like, how would you bring home your stuff? Like, you can't. I mean, you could take it on the bus, but I mean, how would you carry it? I don't know. It leaves you open to, like, a whole host of problems. But yeah, so today is an adventure. I'm taking you along with me, so get ready for that. So, Uber was going to be 8 minutes to come pick us up, so we're taking the bus instead. I know in some countries it's not uncommon to have like rules on public transportation about talking loudly, eating on the bus, and things like that. But here in San Antonio, it's not uncommon to have people watching videos on their phone with the volume all the way up, talking on the phone super loudly, eating, drinking. So it's not uncommon for buses to be super dirty and super loud. I remember this one time I was on the bus and I heard a big splash. And I was like, oh man, someone spilled their drink. And I see liquid crawling towards me. And like, I lift my boots up and I don't look back because I don't want to embarrass them. Step off the bus and turn around to look. It wasn't a soda. It was puke. Someone puked on the bus. And it was disgusting. Off one bus and on to the next. I lied. We're at the bus stop and the bus was gonna take like an hour. So now we're taking an Uber, but we still have to wait 10 minutes for that Uber. So now we're just at this bus stop waiting. This is the difficult part about like not having your own car, is that you kind of have to work around all the different modes of transportation because they're not super reliable. We finally made it to Michael's. That's the thing about not having a car, is that you really have to plan out all your trips in advance. There's no such thing as a spur of the moment like a trip. You have to make sure you track exactly what time you're going to get there. You're going to have to find out what form of transportation that you're taking. Like if you're going to take the bus, you need to find out which routes go where, what time they're coming, and then if you're going to take a Uber, then you have to make sure that you do it in a time when prices aren't elevated, because it's like surge pricing. You have to also consider how you're going to bring the stuff home. Like if you're going to take an Uber home, or if you're going to take the bus, how are you going to carry bulky stuff? And you have to decide which store to go to first if you have a lot of stuff with you. So you need to make sure that the last store you go to is the one that has the bulkiest items, so you don't end up carrying them if you go to different places before that. We're finished up at the sushi place. We're done with the quarry. And we were gonna take the bus, but then that's another hour till it get picked up. So now we're taking an Uber to the dollar store. Finally finished with our shopping expedition, and now we're just waiting for the bus. 2 more buses actually, and then we're home. Okay, we're off the second to last bus. We decided we're not gonna take the last bus home. We're gonna walk home. Yeah, so far we've taken 2 Ubers, 2 buses, and then we walked a fair amount. I think we left the house around like 1, and then it is, I don't know what time it is. I think it's close to 7?
6:40.
So it's 6:40. So we've been out for like almost the entire day, and we only went to Michael's Sushi, Crumble Cookie, Dollar Tree, and 5 and Below. So we went to 5 places, and it took us about 6 hours. 5 hours? I'm bad at math, okay, but when I get home, I'll do a tally of the distance we went and exactly how much it cost. So we left the house at around 1. It is now 7 p.m. We rode 10 miles on the bus and like 3.5 miles in cars and an Uber. We spent $18 on buses and the Ubers. And I think we walked like, how many steps today? I think it was like 4,000 steps today. All of that just to go to 5 different places. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. 6,000 steps, correction. And it's very humid because it just rained. So that was the adventure. We're finally done. We're finally home. It was fun. But that's what it takes to go anywhere when you don't have a car. Thanks for watching. If there's a video you want me to do, please go ahead and let me know in the comments.